will planets ever be scaled up more than their 1/8 size to real life for more realism, or as it is, the mountains feel small?
Okay. Now that they're talking about their points of interest being much larger than in number than they originally talked about, I would not be opposed to the planets getting bigger. Originally, I was like, that puts content too far away from one another. You don't be flying around the planet for a while. But with quantum boost and with points of interest everywhere, maybe you could scale it up, but I wonder how much that would mess with the rest of the game, the speeds they have us flying at, all that kind of stuff.
Write a check, Will.
Right. I think we'd like that because we feel the small too, especially as we introduce more and more advanced atmosphere. It kind of breaks our nice illusion that our planets are full scale, which I hope all of you continue to believe, because I certainly do in my heart. The thing about bigger planets is it stretches the complications with precision more, which we're hoping to be able to do away with, but that's one problem. Obviously, we need high resolution textures. At the moment, if we have a global texture and it's, say, 2K, that gives us a certain number of kilometers per pixel. And obviously, we have local data too. But if we make a planet have twice the surface area, then suddenly we have half as much resolution for the same kind of budget. So we need to consider those decisions and consider how the tech can deal with that.
But this is going to be, I'm going to make a video out of this.
You also get kind of gameplay problems with that as well. If I make a real life-size planet, we have fast ships, but like suddenly getting from one place to another takes 10 times as long. And it's not necessarily good for gameplay to have that. So it's a convoluted question.
But it takes twice as long. Like that changes in my opinion, because they have added so much more to planets than ever used to be in the conversation. I get what he's saying though, and it's nice to hear finally the different reasons why this sort of thing is not as simple as just, oh, we'll just expand to the size of all the planets. Because I think everybody agrees there are trade-offs, there are pros and cons to keeping planets whatever size they are. I think right now the planets are 1/8 size, and then the distances between them and the moons are 1/6, or it's vice versa, something like that. And these are some reasonable explanations as to why they can't necessarily have them be as large. But with all the different things they're adding to planets now, I feel like, maybe we could figure something out.
We appreciate the reason that people are asking, though. We feel the same. But also, there's a certain amount of the why question, which I guess you can ask for a lot of our features, which is what we have works, what we have is great. Should we invest more time in making it bigger? Is that a good use of our time versus going and doing Rivers 2 or finishing out something else sooner?
Roads.
Whatever. Roads. So if you put up a poll that said roads versus bigger planets, I bet roads would win. So, yeah.
I'd
Take
probably
that
add
with
that the 8 times is probably, like I say, it probably pushes all of them aspects too much. Too low res, it's too much memory, it's too much of a knock-on for the gameplay. A smaller increment would be more appealing, I think. Like a doubling or something like that, because just being able to double the scale of our mountains would be nice, and double the scale of our global features, mountain ranges. Would be nice. So
yeah.
Something 2 or 3x, would be more chill. But 8x, it's pushing a few too many areas at the same time, probably. And then the other thing we talked about, we didn't mention.
But that's the thing. It's like it doesn't have to be all the way up to 1-to-1. It could absolutely be just a small change, just to give us more variability in the environments we're seeing, in the atmosphere we get, the way that the clouds are working, the way that cities are visible from orbit. I think there's a lot of things that could benefit from the planet's changing scale.
There's content density. We have to fill it with stuff as well.
You got Starchitect.
Starchitect hopefully helps fill that gap a bit, but we just don't want to, if the current game, we don't want to put things miles apart. But as we start to see the product of Starchitect, we might be able to see, things are feeling too crammed and claustrophobic. Maybe we do need a bit more space, and we'll try and explore that. But yeah, probably 8x is probably pushing it, I think.
Hey, that at least makes it sound like it's possible that they get larger. So we'll see what they do. I would assume that they're going to stay the same size, but it would be cool if they, went up a couple times, a couple levels in size.